Welcome to the most deleted, shadow banned, demonetized, censored, and trolled channel on social media. Recipient of the Patriot Warrior Purple Q Award. The installed deep state puppet Maduro is about to be neutralized by the overwhelming force of the U.S. military. The USS Gerald Ford Carrier Strike Group is now positioned just miles off the Venezuelan coast. Since this piece of shit and his drug-running homunculus scumbags haven't got the message by all the fast boats we blew up the last few months, now the stakes are higher. We are about to invade Venezuela and make it a vassal state of the USA. It's about time the war on drugs, the shit that has murdered more of our children than all the previous bullshit wars. It is high time this shit went balls to the wall, KINETIC. As someone who experienced the loss of a family member due to this shit, and as someone who has witnessed the destruction of young lives due to this scourge, I am fully in support of the kinetic eradication of the drug cartels and the complete disembowelment of every government organization, financial institution, non-government organization, or individual who supports, legitimizes, or seeks to give aid and comfort to drug cartels or human trafficking operations. Any foreign government, such as Venezuela, which subsidizes, supports, aids, or fails to interdict drug or human trafficking should be declared international terrorists and dealt with accordingly. Anyone captured or who is convicted of being any part of drug or human trafficking should be stripped of constitutional rights if they're American and treated as non-uniformed enemy combatant terrorists and executed. Some of you may argue against capital punishment, but I, for one, do not believe that my tax money should be used to feed and house a piece of shit for the rest of his existence. In any event, a 30-cent 9mm hollow point full metal jacket is not only a more frugal and permanent solution to the problem, but compared to life in prison at CCOT at the taxpayer expense, I believe that anyone who has seen CCOT documentaries will agree. That would be merciful. As for local drug dealers, are they not part of the cartel? Since the money they raise by the sale of their product eventually ends up in the hands of those in foreign countries who are making billions on the misery and death of our most precious children. They are the essential ingredient for the cartels to exist. Without local dealers, the cartels would collapse. I propose designating street-level drug dealers as domestic terrorists. With such laws in place and penalties given as mandatory minimums on plea bargains, it will become impossible for a sane person to risk being a drug dealer. And as for those who are insane enough to choose to engage in risk-taking, when the wager on his part that he will escape capture collapses with his arrest, he can't complain that he wasn't warned. Fuck 'em. Blame the auto pen that ran this country under Chomo Uncle Joe. And as all of you who have followed this channel since 2015 from their tube, you all know my position on self-defense. The Second Amendment wasn't written so you and I could go duck hunting. In 1969, I took an oath to defend my country from all enemies, foreign and domestic. We have enemies inside the borders, and when seconds count, police are only minutes away. You are your own first responder. Act like it. New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin laid the groundwork for the entire United States. No gun law should be able to survive the text, history, and tradition scrutiny, and so all firearm regulations are ipso facto unconstitutional. Still, a deep state New World Order cabal insists on workaround prohibitions that defy the Supreme Court ruling. Those in support of those attempts to circumvent the U.S. Constitution should be arrested and tried under 18 U.S. Code 241 and 242, Look it up. Yes, I know I've strayed from the subject of impending war with Venezuela. However, as much as you and I would agree with the U.S. military operations to eradicate the cartels, aside from our vocalized support, we have little influence in that fight. However, the fight that comes to our neighborhoods and to our very doorsteps, that is a course of a different color. Defend your family and help your neighbors. Have love and compassion. Do not be afraid to defend your family or an innocent person in danger or children who are being enslaved by drug dealers or human traffickers or abusers. The law of the cabal may turn on you, but the law of the living God will vindicate you in the end. As for me, I have no problem expelling demons by the kinetic dispatchment of their hosts. It is legal in the state I live in, and it fulfills the oath I took back in 1969. At 75 years of age, I can say that I've been through my share of hell. I'm still here, and I'll be here until the good Lord calls me home. I abide by the Word of God and by the U.S. Constitution in that order. I believe that it is better to be tried by 12 than carried by 6, as the saying goes. If you, as a criminal, believe that it is worth your life to victimize my family or steal my shit, well, that is a decision you made. Cause and effect are natural laws. I also believe that it is better to have it and not need it than it is to need it and not have it. That's why I rarely throw anything out that may be useful in the future. I'm a self-imposed TMS victim. Too much shit. It's one of the reasons I'm looking to buy a bigger house. TMS is also a reason for me to pay it forward. I hope that my ramblings here inspires the next generation to embrace traditional values and engage in more of the lost art of critical thinking. In closing, pray for peace, and at the same time implore the will and intervention of the living God for victory over the multiple layers of evil that seek to destroy our republic. Pray for the swift and merciless dispatch of the enemies of life and freedom, and personally commit to expose and destroy all threats to your freedom and the safety of those you love. To do anything less is dereliction of your duty as a human being. This is Dave from Net4Truth USA, Inglorious Patriots, and I am Charlie Kirk.
Ever since the Great Awakening, thousands of content creators like myself have been burning the midnight oil well into the wee hours of the morning, and millions of us who are awake are not getting enough sleep. Everyone knows that a good night's sleep is essential for efficient functioning of the cognitive processes that enable a person to discern truth from fiction and deep state-induced woke dementia. Well, years before I was asked to be an advertiser for MyPillow, I have been using their products. The first product I used was, of course, the pillows. I was impressed with the comfort, and I was able to fall off to sleep almost immediately rather than having to fight a bag of foam and trying to get comfortable. The pillowcases and Giza sheets are absolutely the bee's knees, and I have sets for the 2 beds I have in my home. Another thing is their body pillow. I suffer from a lumbar spine injury that is exacerbated by my preference to sleep on my side. Having the body pillow to roll onto alleviates the pressure and mitigates the discomfort, allowing me to fall asleep quickly. Mike Lindell, a great American patriot, has an entire line of quality products that everyone should try. Once you sleep with the pillows and sheets, you'll throw the ones you have in the garbage or donate them to Goodwill. If you go to www.mypillow.com, there is a link in the description. As a viewer and subscriber to this channel, you can buy anything in the store for 66% off. That's 1/3 of the retail price. Just fill your shopping cart and use promo code N4T at the checkout. Take it from me, folks, I've been using Mike Lindell's products since 2015. There is nothing like them on the market, and I say this with 71 years of sleeping experience. Don't forget, use promo code N4T at checkout.